Welcome to Module 6 in Online Business Mania. In this module, we're going to talk about building your online presence, and specifically, creating an authority figure status in 30 days or less. Now, it's very important to understand the effectiveness of this strategy when you're setting up your business. It can easily be overlooked, and also many people do feel that it's simply not worth the effort. Well, I totally disagree. The successes that I've had in the online businesses that I've been a part of, well, without building an online presence, I just would not be where I am today. And that's because it's a fact that people are drawn towards those they perceive as being an authority figure. And the more online presence you have, the more authority you build for yourself. So that said, in this training, I want to go through how you go about doing this and what it is that you need to do, and also how fast you can actually achieve it. So let's talk about understanding your prospect's mindset. When you're in business, you should understand that obviously someone needs to buy something for us to get paid. And that's why we have to understand who our prospects are and what's going on in their mind as they're going through the buying process. Well, the first thing that we should understand is people buy from those who they like and trust. Now, if they like you and trust you, then they're far more apt to buy from you than if they do not. And that's the plain and simple truth of the matter. In all my years of selling, and what we've always taught is that no matter what it is that you're actually selling, you must make a friend of your prospect. They need to like you. They'll spend more money if they do actually like you and also trust you than if they don't like you and trust you, and someone else is offering them a better deal than you are. Of course, some people will opt to take the deal even from someone they don't necessarily like or trust, but by far the majority of people will buy from those they like and trust. Now, most internet buyers carry out some sort of research when they're buying, and they tend to be fairly diligent with respect to their purchases online. That's because the internet is a tool for research, and obviously internet buyers are fully aware of that. So whenever you need to find something out, you go to the internet. Now, I'm a prime example of that. If I want to find out about a famous person, I do an internet search. If I want to find out a price for something or learn about a product, the internet. I want to go out to a nice restaurant in my city and I'm not already familiar with that restaurant, the internet. I want to learn about some places I might like to take a holiday, the internet. So when people are interested in what it is that you're offering, of course they want to find out about you. If they're interested in your niche, they want to find the authority figure in the niche. So they're looking to gain some credibility about you as an individual. They're already pre-sold on the service or the product that you're offering, but they still could be skeptical. And why is that? Well, often it's the case that those people have been burned in the past, and they know that previously they never carried out enough research. Now, maybe it was an impulse buy. Maybe they jumped on something that just didn't work out the way it was promised, so they made a vow that they would never do that again. Of course, there are still many people who will impulse buy. We also want those people too. Well, who wouldn't really? But the bulk of your income will come from those prospects who come into your sales funnel. Then they'll be doing research on you, and they have to be comfortable with you based on the authority figure status and the online presence that you have. Therefore, your sales messages will be more powerful, and your email communications will be more powerful, and what you provide to them will be more powerful, and they'll start to like and trust you. And that's when you build a follow-up, and this is very important indeed. Now, when we're talking about perception, perception is the reality. In fact, let me say that again. Perception is the reality. What your prospects will see, believe, and perceive as the reality is the truth. That's the reality to them, irrespective of whether it's true or not. This is what makes the internet a dangerous place. You see, there are plenty of con artists online that are putting up these false perceptions in order to gain customers. Unfortunately, a lot of people are taken in by these con artists and are scammed out of their hard-earned money. So what you need to do is to combat this by providing more information. You need to let them know that you're real and that you're indeed a good person and you want for them to succeed in what it is that they're doing. Now that goes both ways, however. Many people who first start out are nervous that they don't yet have a story. The biggest thing that you have to understand is this. People only know what it is that you tell them. Now, of course, I'm not saying to lie, to manipulate or mislead. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can tell them what it is that you want to tell them. Like with respect to those stories that you have in your background, by all means, pull out the shiny nuggets. You don't have to tell the whole story if it's something that'll make you look bad. Why would you do that? Or if you don't feel you have quite enough experience to be doing what it is that you're intent on doing. Now, by way of example, I've had a pretty nasty run in life over the past 15 years or so, and the fact is, there are some things within that time, about 8 years back or so, that I really don't want to be sharing with folks. If I did, it might put me in something of a negative light. And not with everyone. A lot of people would be entirely sympathetic to my plight, and for good reason too. But inevitably, there would be some that would potentially see my past as a very negative issue, and that's certainly not what I want. So what I did was to pull out some of the nuggets of my past and tell folks about those nuggets. And that's worked very well for me. Now, another common problem that people have when they're starting out in business online, or perhaps they've been working online for a long while, but they don't yet have much success to tell others about. And normally that comes down to not making much income. Well, not in comparison to some other online marketers anyway. Now, I mean, perhaps you'd feel uncomfortable saying that you make $3,000 online a month when you know for a fact that there are plenty of other online marketers that make 5 times that amount and more. So what's so special about you? But you don't need to tell them how much money you make. Instead, focus on another positive aspect of your business. You might want to tell folks that you started out online knowing pretty much nothing, but you found a couple of excellent mentors and you worked with them until you got to the point where you could emulate what they did, but change it around to suit yourself, and that's why you're now successful. Now, you see, there's nothing there about how much money you're making. You may only be making a couple $100 a month online. Who needs to know? No one but you, that's who. A lot of people will find the fact that you followed along with your mentors and are now successful in whatever way it is that you're successful to be enough. That's enough of a hook for many people. They can relate to that entirely. And that's enough of a hook for them to want to follow along with your progress, and they'll probably already like you and trust you also. So by all means, be totally honest about who and what you are. But that does not mean you have to talk about everything in your life. If you're just getting started with your business and making money, then of course the chances are that your income is going to be pretty small and perhaps even next to non-existent. So instead of talking about your income or your lack of it, instead of that, focus on the relationships that you're fostering, the knowledge you've gained, how quickly you've managed to gain the knowledge, and also the fact that you're already successful because of these current situations that you've worked hard to nourish. Now that's true success after all, irrespective of the lack of income. Now, there's something else that you should understand, and that's this. The more virtual real estate that you own, the more you're seen as an authority figure. What I mean when I say virtual real estate is, in fact, websites. I'm referring to places that your name, your picture, and your information is seen. That could be social networking sites. It could be on blogs. It could be personal websites that you've created. Whatever the case may be. If you've had plenty of virtual real estate, and as people search you out and learn more and more about you, then they'll be more apt to regard you as an authority figure. Also, keep in mind that those who give content are far more trusted than those that merely offer sales pages. Now, when I refer to virtual real estate, I'm referring to pages that provide real content, and it's available for free. You're offering true value to the community. People are reading your stuff and they're gaining from real information and not just being asked to buy something. Now, of course, you can ask people to buy from you. You can leave some messages in your content where you recommend a product or a service. You yourself might find a product or service particularly good. So why not recommend it to others who you also feel will benefit from it? Well, of course you should do that. But it's not a blatant sales pitch. It's not like you're shoving something in anybody's face and telling them that they must buy it. You don't want to throw up tons of sales pages or opt-in pages and expect people to like it. That'll turn off the vast majority of folks right away. So transparency gives the perception of honesty. So when we're discussing about you putting your content online and getting all that stuff out there, you're building your brand and you're marketing yourself. And by being transparent, what I mean by that is being open and honest about what's going on in your life. Include your life, include your family, your friends, include your personal information, such as your contact information. Now, some people don't like to take phone calls, and that's okay. Just set something up on a voicemail system instead and create a message whereby you can get back to them later on. Or leave a contact email address. Just something along those lines. Giving out your phone number can be very helpful in your marketing efforts. If you're comfortable speaking with people, then that's great. But if it comes to a point where the calls were interfering with, say, your family life, then you can have your personal assistant to help with those. Or you could have someone else to funnel your call so that you can only speak with those people that are really interested in getting ahead with their business. Now, these are lots of different things you can do. Now, let's talk about creating your online presence. Now, this can mean your blog, articles, or press releases. It can be personal pages. For example, who is or an about page where you put a bio about yourself, who you are and what you stand for, why people should work with you, and what have been some of your successes. It could be review pages where you review the business that you're in, or different programs or different products, whatever the case might be. It could be social networks, a Facebook, a Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, the list goes on and on. These show up in search engines also, depending on the network. So let's talk about 30 days to authority figure status. So as far as creating a formal outline as to how to create an authority status in as little as 30 days, here's something to guide you along the path. First of all, create a blog. Now, here are the top 15 ways to create a super successful blog. Successful bloggers may talk about different things and make money through different ways, but essentially they go about things the same way. And if you want to be a super successful blogger, learn from the best. Now, here are the tips from successful bloggers that they wish they got when they first started. First of all, have a plan. So concentrate on just one blog first and have a firm idea on what your aims are and what you need to achieve those aims. Hoping for lots of money is not a bad thing, but hoping for the best and making things up as you go along is not a great business plan. Secondly, know your customer. We talked about this already. Simply trying to sell stuff to everyone is not the way to go. Do your research and find out what products or services your niche market needs, and then be the one to provide them. It's impossible to solve everyone's problem, but you can solve a few pressing problems. Third, create value first instead of just trying to sell. Now, many bloggers have realized that their profits went way up when they concentrated first on solving people's problems instead of trying to convince everyone to buy whatever they're selling. When people regard you as a problem solver and not just a seller, your sales actually become much better. Fourth, promote only high-quality products. Your brand, your very name, in fact, is tied into what you sell. If you sell crap, then people will associate your name with crap, and no one will trust you. 5, sell only the more expensive stuff. So convincing a few people to buy items worth thousands of dollars is easier than convincing millions of people to buy 5-cent items online, for example. The profits are better with the expensive stuff, too. 6, go with products with recurring income. This means convincing someone to buy from you once means you get the sales just about forever. Some items are just one-time sales. A customer buys from you once and that's the end. But you can sell products which require a customer to buy from you again and again, and you don't have to convince them to buy any more. They're already convinced. 7, focus on just a couple of affiliate programs. Customers want trusted people to recommend choices for them, so only focus on the best affiliate programs so that customers will trust you. 8, start by giving stuff away for free. This makes customers more liable to click your emails. When they realize you only associate with great stuff, then they'll start paying for it a little at a time. 9, focus on becoming an authority in your niche. Grow your blog with lots of ideas and articles your customers want so that they come to you when they need answers. 10th, follow the leaders. Some of your competitors take risk. Let them. Then simply do the things which worked and avoid those that failed. They take the risk, you can reap the reward, risk-free. 11th, keep on blogging. Do 1 or 2 posts a day. If you're feeling too lazy, then, well, you're in the wrong business. 12, develop multiple sources of traffic. SEO is great, but what if Google changes the way it acts as it always does every now and then? Use social media networks and other blogs as well. 13, be natural. It's not only easier to do compared to being fake all the time, but more people respond better to your real personality as well. 14th, keep on improving. Do small changes and see if it has better results. Always check and always test. Standing still is not a good idea. 15, work hard and smart. If you think you can get by with just an hour a day and be super successful, well, you're living a fantasy. So practice all this, and it will help you to build your presence online and become an authority in your niche. So good luck, and thanks for joining me for Module 6, Building Your Online Presence. And as always, of course, if you need help, please ask for it.